Dear students, welcome to another lecture in quality control. So we were discussing about the inspection. So the inspection is the act of checking of materials, products or components at various stages of manufacturing. And it has three stages, three activities. One is depending upon the design specifications, you have to understand and interpret those specifications. Second, you have to measure the product with the measuring instruments, and then you have to compare these measured values with the specifications in the third step and see whether a product is passed okay or should it be rejected. See, these are the three steps. Now let us see the objectives or needs of inspection. Now first is the receiving inspection. Receiving means we are receiving the materials, the raw materials which are used for making the products. Those raw materials are inspected. That is called as receiving inspection. Inspection of incoming raw material or bought out items. That means some of the items they are bought ready-made. Okay, say if you are making a car, you won't make the tire is bought from outside, is it not? Lights are bought from outside. Many such things are bought from outside. If you are making a refrigerator, you won't be making a compressor is bought from outside. Okay, so it can be incoming raw materials or it can be the incoming bought out items to ensure that they are according to the specifications. So inspecting these incoming raw materials and bought out items to see that they are according to the specifications that we have ordered, that inspection is called as raw material inspection or the receiving inspection. Now second is in process inspection. When you say in process, that means that is from the time you take the raw material to the first machine and a first cut is made. So from that time onwards it is in process material. It is not a finished good or it is not a raw material. It is in process or semi-finished state it is. Okay, so that we will be inspecting. This is this will be the raw material may be going through various machines, number of machines. Okay, so you may have to do the inspection at number of places. Okay, so to prevent further operation on material which is spoiled in prior operation, that is inspection of semi-finished goods when they undergo processing from one operation to another. See, suppose the raw material is taken onto the first machine and there it gets damaged. See, there itself that should be put aside. It is not that should go to the second, third and till the end, and then there in the final machine when it comes out as a finished good, there you are inspecting and you are saying no. See, so much of work is being done, so much of money, so much of machine time and man hours are being spent for it. See, the semi-finished goods, if it is spoiled, there itself it should be removed from the process. Okay, so for that we do in process inspection. See, the in process inspection helps us to isolate the faulty semi-finished goods before they enter the next operation. Now next is finished goods. Now finished goods inspection, the name itself says it is finished. In the first step it is as raw material, in the second step it is in process material, and the third is it is finished material. So the finished materials inspection, or you say finished goods inspection, see, for inspection of finished goods or products to find out whether it is as per the specifications, or is it failing, or does it have any defects? That's what we had to find out. For that, finished goods inspection is done. It may be necessary to perform the functional test also. Functional test means actually you do a you subject it to the function for which it is made. If it is a bicycle, you take a ride and see. If it is an engine, you run it and see. If it is any other product, you just put it to the function for which it is made and see how it is performing in that functional test. Finished product is run to see whether it performs according to the specifications or not, and to evaluate the fitness of the product. So these are the three inspections: receiving inspection, in-process inspection, and finished goods inspection. And now another one, consumer satisfaction or company goodwill. See, this is another objective of inspection. Consumer satisfaction. See, I'm telling again and again, consumer is the king. He should be satisfied. If he is satisfied, then you will be running your company, and you will be making profits, you will be growing, you will make money. Okay. And the company should have goodwill of the people, goodwill of the consumer. See, good consumer relations by preventing the delivery of defective products to the customer. You see, even once if you receive a defective product, suppose you ordered something and it came as broken or defective, will you again buy the same thing from that buyer? No. From that seller? No. Normally, see, people will be put off, they won't buy. So to keep the customer happy, to gain the customer satisfaction, you have to do the inspection, and you have to remove the defective products from being shipped out. Then decision on scrap. Scrap is that material, like the waste material. You see, if you are doing turning, some chips are formed and other things, that is a scrap. If you are working with the tin sheet metal, some of the edges and other things, they are cut. This all comes under scrap. And even all the rejected things, failed things, these also contribute to the that heap of scrap, waste material. See, that should be kept minimum. See, it is necessary to take decision on the defective parts. Some of them may be accepted after minor repairs. Yeah, for taking decision also you have to take you have to do the inspection, because some of the things, minor repairs if you do, and it will be as good as it can be used. You see, so many things you see in the sometimes they put sale of different things. Seconds, they say, seconds. You see, some of the people will be selling refrigerators and TVs or some such things. Seconds means what? Washing machines. Now what? A little damage here, little damage there. Normally, if you see, you cannot even identify. You see, a little damage. But for that, if a washing machine costs some say 25,000, the seconds material you may get even for 15,000 or even lesser than that. Seconds they will give cheap. You see, and they are, company itself is saying it is seconds. That is, it is not the first quality. It is some damaged part, somewhere, some little defect. So because of which it is done. It is sold in seconds. See, you can either sell it as seconds, or if it is very minor repair, you do it and sell it as first itself. But you should ensure but you should ensure that your customers' goodwill is not lost. Okay, so you have to take a decision on the scrap. So because of that, we need to do the inspection. Now next is, due to development of precision measuring instruments and methods of inspection, the old crude machines have changed to better designed precision machines. Okay, earlier, the machines were crude. Now sophisticated machines have come, which are called precision measuring, as precision machines, you can say, or the instruments are precision measuring instruments. And the methods of inspection also, because we are using precision measuring instruments, our methods of inspection also have, become precise measuring, precise inspections. Okay, you can say like that. The crude machines have changed. Okay, so earlier, what was taking more time, now you can, whether a little time you can check. See, so why not to check at various stages? Then gauges and equipment maintenance. Gauges and equipments which are used for the inspection purpose, for their maintenance also, you have to do, to facilitate manufacture of interchangeable parts, and all these things you have to do. Yeah, these are the different objectives or needs of inspection. Next, now inspection stages or types of stages. Some of the things we have already seen, but in a detailed way we'll let us see what are various stages. First is the incoming inspection. This is either the raw material or the bought out items that you are getting. Those are incoming incoming materials which you have to do. So if you do the inspection of that, it is incoming inspection. The second one is in-process inspection. Now in-process inspection, here there are 5 stages. Okay, first is the first piece inspection. Okay, first I will only read the list because I think we will be seeing in detail, okay, each and everything. So the first piece inspection, floor inspection, operator inspection, last piece inspection, and centralized inspection. So these 5 different inspections are there in the semi-finished material, on the semi-finished material or the in-process material. So, and the third one is the final inspection. Now let us talk detailedly about each of these things, starting with the first one, that is the incoming inspection. Incoming inspection is also called as receiving inspection. See, this is the inspection of incoming raw materials, components, sub-assemblies, and purchased parts, to ensure that they are according to required specifications. You see, whenever you are purchasing from outside, your purchase department will be giving specifications. You see, the raw material should be of this quality, this should be there, this should be there, this should be there, all those things. Sometimes they will say we want this kind of steel. Okay, its diameter should be so much. If it is a rod, the diameter should be so much. If it is a sheet, its thickness should be so much. Like that. Some they will give specifications when they are purchasing the raw material. Even like that, components, sub-assemblies. If then they are ordering, they will give the specifications. According to that only, they will receive the components and sub-assemblies, and even purchased parts. All these things, according to the specification. So when it comes to the company, when the supplier supplies to the plant, now you have to, at the receiving place, you have to inspect them. And if it is fine, you accept it, or if it is not fine, you reject it. Okay, so that is the incoming. Okay, the aim of incoming inspection is to prevent goods or raw materials which do not fulfill the quality requirements You see, if the raw material itself is bad, you cannot make a quality product from it. Okay, therefore what you have to do, you should prevent the raw material that is substandard from entering into the production process. And if suppose see, substandard raw material enters the process, what happens is production problems come, and the quality of the finished goods will reduce. Therefore, incoming inspection is done before the goods or raw materials are accepted and taken onto the production. Okay, next, now let us talk about the second stage, that is the in-process inspection. In-process inspection is of the semi-finished goods or in-process goods or parts as they undergo from one operation to another. You see, in this various types of inspection is there. Let us see the first piece inspection. See, the name itself says it is the first piece. That means, if you are making for the things for the first time, see, make the first piece and you do inspection. That is the first piece inspection. This is carried out on the first item manufactured after the machine is set up. If the work conforms to the prescribed standard, the operator is allowed to carry out further production. But if it is unsatisfactory, then you have to do some kind of rectification and then proceed. Okay, you have to correct. See, now there are certain advantages and certain disadvantages of this first piece inspection. See, what are the advantages? See, without the first piece inspection, you keep on manufacturing, and later on you realize that all the things that you have made are wrong. Okay, see, suppose for example, if you are printing some 50 pages, see, when you print the first page, you will see whether how it has come, whether the margins are correct, whether the font is correct, whether everything is printing properly or not. Is it not? And afterwards only you put all the 50 pages. You give the print for you give the command for printing all the 50 pages. See, suppose if you give all the 50 pages without even checking the first page, then if something goes wrong, all the 50 pages are wasted. You see, you won't do that, is it not? Say first page, as you print and see, the same thing here. The first page is inspected. Okay, see, the wastage is minimized by early stage of at the early stage of production. This is one advantage. Then second is, by testing the first piece, the faults in setting up the machine or the process can be traced out and corrected. So these are the advantages, but there are disadvantages. See, the first one disadvantage is production of similar parts, similar products is kept on hold till the first piece is inspected. See, the first piece you make and it is inspected, and a decision is made whether to accept or not accept. Suppose if it is taking time, all the production comes to standstill. See, no further production is going on, people are sitting idle. See, during the inspection of one piece, machine, they may remain idle. That means they are not doing any work. In addition to that, one piece is found to be acceptable, then production can be resumed. But if that one piece produced does not conform to the specifications, then the machine settings are changed for several number of times till the confirmation of that one piece that it is as per the standards. Therefore, the machine hours and man hours are both wasted. But even if they are wasted, you should ensure that your product is of quality. according to the specifications you are producing. You have to ensure, otherwise we should not keep the people idle, we should not keep the machines idle. With that intention you keep on, with that intention, if we keep on producing, you will produce all defective pieces and everything will become a scrap and you are not achieving anything. Okay, so the first piece inspection has certain advantages and disadvantages, but in my opinion, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Okay, now let us see the second one, that is the floor inspection. Floor means what? Shop floor. Say under floor inspection, the inspection is carried out near the machines. See, normally these quality control people will have their own department, their own cabin, their own you can say an AC cabin they may be having, because some of the instruments are very sensitive instruments. So the AC is not for the people but for the sensitive machines, because the temperature variations also will give some errors. So the errors should not come into the measurement. Therefore, normally any metrology quality control department or the quality control department and all these things, they are normally air conditioned. Okay, so they may have their own cabin. So normally they take the parts and go into the cabin. There they measure and they will decide whether it is okay or not, and then they come and give back to the worker and say it is either accepted or it is rejected, like that. That is normally done. But when shop floor inspection we are talking about the inspectors, the quality control inspectors are coming from their cabin outside to near the machines, and or at the machine shop floor, and then the inspector walks around the shop floor from machine to machine, checks the samples of the work performed or produced by various workers. He may take a random sample, he may check it, and he may say whether it is accepted or not. Okay, so that is the floor inspection or shop floor inspection. Now let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of shop floor inspection. The advantage one is it is suitable when the product being manufactured are heavy in weight. It is so big or so heavy that you cannot take it into their cabin. Okay, so it is suitable. Only this you can do because it is so big. You cannot go to the cabin and do it. Okay. Second, after each operation, the product being manufactured is inspected to check its conformance to the design specifications before going to the next operation. Handling and conveying of semi-finished products. Handling means if very heavy means with the hand you cannot do it. So we will be using overhead conveyors, or you may use the belt conveyors or screw conveyors, or belt conveyors or chain conveyors, or any such things, so that these heavy equipment can be moved. Okay, so the handling and conveying of the semi-finished products from the shop floor to inspection department and for inspection, and again back to shop floor to undergo the next operation is highly reduced. You see, if they are very huge and if they are very heavy, all this you can avoid by doing floor inspection. If the floor inspection is implemented, you can avoid all those things. Then the third advantage is it reduces the waiting time of the semi-finished products to undergo inspection due to already accumulated work in the inspection department. Sometimes you see, the worker may say you inspect and give this, then only I can proceed further. But see, the inspection department, they are having already some parts which are to be inspected. They say you keep it, you wait for some time. See, the time is wasted if it is taken to the inspection room. Okay, whereas whereas if they are doing the shop floor, that time is not wasted. Okay, then no need to change and disturb the existing line layout of machinery. Sometimes you need not even dismount from the machine. On the machine itself, you can inspect. Okay, then defects may be quickly discovered and corrected. Suppose when the person, when the operator of the machine is performing some operation, there itself it can be quickly pointed out, it can be quickly discovered, and the corrective actions can be taken. Okay, so these are the advantages. Now let us see what are the disadvantages of shop floor inspection. Inspection of quality may be affected by vibration, dust, it is now here we are talking about quality, but it is not the quality of the product. We are talking about the quality of the inspection. The inspection of quality may be affected by vibration, dust, poor lighting, etc. These things won't be there in the inspection department. Vibration, because now it is not on the machine. The dust and other things, that will be air conditioned cabin, I said. Then lighting and the pool, all those things won't be there in the inspection department, but on the shop floor it may be there. They may affect. Okay, that is a that can be a disadvantage, but it may not be such a big disadvantage. Okay, then second is there may be a possibility of pressure from the workers over the inspector to accept the faulty work. This may happen if they say, worker may be saying, "Arey sir, just pass it, please pass it, don't fail it, don't reject it." Then they will say, "I am a bad worker," and if the inspector takes pity for him and passes, see, that is such kind of pressure will be there, maybe there on the inspector. Whereas if he is doing in his inspection department, he won't, he will do, there won't be pressure. Okay, so that is one disadvantage. Okay, then inspection of semi-finished products using highly precise measuring instruments to obtain accurate measurements is very difficult to perform at the shop floor. See, very high precision instruments, measuring instruments, those will be there in the inspection department, and all those things you cannot bring to the machine where onto the shop floor where they are machining. Okay, so you, if you are doing also, you will not be doing very precision measurements there. You will be doing only not so precise measurements. Okay, so that is one disadvantage. Okay, next is cost of inspection is high because the need of skilled instructors and many sets of measuring instruments and gauges are gauging devices are required. You see, many inspectors will be needed if they have to go out and measuring. In the shop floor means one person can do what is coming, one person or two persons, okay, depending upon the volume of the work. Okay, but if it is many people going out and doing, so more inspectors will be needed. That means it is costly. Why costly? You have to pay salaries for all these inspectors, and also you have to have so many sets of measuring instruments and gauges. So therefore it may become costly. Then there may be accumulation of semi-finished products near the machines on shop floor waiting for the inspection. Suppose unless the inspector comes and checks, will not move further. So here also a time may be wasted. You see, as an advantage we said no time will be wasted here because the inspector is coming. Provided he comes immediately, no time will be wasted. But if he if he fails to come immediately, then it becomes a disadvantage. Okay, next, third, operator inspection. Operator inspection, the name itself says operator. Operator means what? Machine operator, the worker who is operating the machine. Suppose a lathe machine, or a milling machine, whatever machine, that person himself inspects. They will also be inspecting, no? They will also have vernier caliper and some gauges and other things they may be having. Okay, they will measure. Okay, so the such kind is called as operator inspection. Then next is last piece. Last piece inspection is carried out on the last item manufactured in a given lot. As we have inspected the first piece, the last piece is being inspected here. Okay, inspection of last item manufactured in a lot. Lot means it can be, yes, a lot means can be 20 pieces or 50 pieces, 100 pieces, 200 pieces, depending upon the size of the parts. A lot can be fixed. Okay, see, in a lot the first piece was checked, and in a lot the last piece is being checked now, inspected now. Inspection of the last item manufactured in a lot helps to identify and rectify the faults in manufacturing machines or errors in settings. Now you have tested the first one, you have tested also now and then last piece you are checking, and you see, in the process, that means by the time you produced these many parts, if any errors in the settings have creeped in, okay, that you can identify, and then you can rectify those faults, those errors. If these faults are not detected, and if the manufacturing of the next lot is started, then the number of defectives will produce, then more number of defectives or greater number of defectives will be produced. So that is not desirable. It is an economic loss, and also it delays the schedule of delivery of the products to the consumer. Okay, so last piece also is inspected, that is last piece inspection. Then centralized inspection. Centralized inspection, this is the inspection carried out in a separate room, as we are saying, the inspection cabin, inspection room, or quality control room, in whichever name, whatever name you call it. Okay, that separate room, fully equipped with all the measuring instruments and the inspection devices. If you do it, that is called centralized inspection. See, the raw materials, semi-finished products to be inspected are conveyed from shop floor to centralized inspection room. You see, when you can do this, you see, if those see, random sampling, if you are doing only few parts, you can do, or if the lot is small, you can do. But if it's a huge lot, and everything is to be brought to the centralized location, is not possible. Okay, but so centralized inspection is used where accuracy is highest requirement. One thing, the highest requirement you can achieve in that environment, and with those precise instruments, and the precision measuring instruments are used. It is also used when the required inspection devices cannot be brought to the shop floor. Some of those things cannot be brought, okay, because that measuring equipment itself is huge. Then they cannot be brought. So in such cases also you have to go for centralized inspection. Okay, next let us see the advantages and disadvantages of centralized inspection. You see, actually those things which are very important, those things we are seeing advantages, disadvantages. Now for the first piece inspection we have saw advantages, disadvantages. For the floor inspection we have seen, and now for the centralized inspection we are seeing. Centralized inspection advantages: a large quantity of jobs can be economically checked with use of few inspection devices, because the inspectors need not take one set of measuring instruments and go to the shop floor. Okay, so a large number can be checked with few instruments. Okay, that is first advantage. Second is subdivision of inspection into simple tasks makes it possible to employ less skilled inspectors. So if you are doing centralized inspection, less less inspectors, with less inspectors you can do, and these inspectors should be skilled inspectors. With less number you can do. The third one is ideal conditions required for accurate measurement can be artificially maintained in the centralized inspection room. See, if some instruments are sensitive to temperature or vibrations or dust or any such thing, then no, the best thing is you take to centralized inspection room. Okay, outside errors may crop up. Next, there is no need of conveying measuring instruments from inspection room to department to shop floor. Therefore, chances of that, if the person is taking and going, and on the way he drops them, they get damaged. Some of the measuring instruments will be very costly, because they are precision instruments. And you see, why to take them and damage them? And you put here, put there, wear and tear comes. Sometimes when you're coming, going, you hit two different equipment or machines. Okay, so the handling, the less you handle, the less wear and tear. So the accuracy can be maintained if they are in the centralized location. Okay, these are all the advantages of doing the centralized inspection. Now, next, fifth one, proper care of costly and delicate instruments can be taken so that they can inspect the job very accurately. See, a care also can be taken and their accuracy can be maintained if the instruments don't leave the centralized inspection room. Supervision of inspection work is possible. If suppose 3-4 people or 4 inspectors are there, above them the quality control manager is there, so this quality control manager can supervise the activities of those inspectors. Okay, that becomes easier, possible. Okay, these are the advantages. Now let us see the disadvantages of the centralized inspection. A large amount of spoiled work may accumulate at the place. Suppose some things are rejected and they are piling up. Okay, they may pile up before the fault is identified and corrected at the machine. You see, the centralized inspection room also may be filled with those parts or the spoiled work. Then defects due to machine setup and other machining errors are not quickly traced out. See, if what you can trace on the shop floor, sometimes you'll not be able to trace or find out at the centralized location. Then this method is not suitable for inspecting heavy parts. Yeah, because the heavy parts cannot be brought into the cabin. And semi-finished products after every operation are conveyed to central inspection room for inspection, and after inspection acceptable semi-finished products are again sent back to shop floor for next operation. So now what is happening is the production time, handling expenses, these are increasing. So this is one undesirable thing. So it is a disadvantage. Now let us see the final inspection. Final inspection is carried out after the final manufacturing stage. See, last piece inspection is different. Last piece inspection is in the lot last piece is come out. Now this final inspection is carried out after the final manufacturing stage. All or few finished products ready for dispatch to the market are inspected. See, there just before leaving for the packing, you can say, or before the dispatch to the market or to the end user, they are inspected to know how well they are performing. The aim of final inspection is to prevent defective products being sent to customers. Okay, then Another type of inspection is tool and gauge inspection. Now these tools required for production process and measuring instruments or gauges are gauges required for inspection of workpieces, jobs, parts, or products at various stages of manufacturing. They should be inspected in advance or prior to start of production activity. The tools and gauges also should be inspected. Now, tools inspection and gauge inspection. Let us see what they are. Tools, fixtures, jigs, these things, etc., are inspected before the start of production, whether they are proper. If the tools are having some they are not proper, if the fixtures are not proper, jigs are not proper, they themselves may induce some errors into the product. Okay, so tool inspection assumes that if tools are proper, then the quality of the products manufactured by them will meet the design specifications. The tools, then similarly gauges. Now, measuring instruments and gauges required for inspection are inspected in advance to or prior to the start of the inspection work. This method assumes that if measuring instruments and gauges are accurate and periodically calibrated, then results of inspection will be accurate and error-free. See, the calibration means what? All these measuring instruments should be calibrated, because over a certain period of time, because of the use, what happens is some errors may creep into the measurement. Okay, sometimes big wear and tear, or sometimes some play comes, so they won't be accurately measuring. So you have to go for calibration. When you do the calibration, calibration is nothing but maintenance of these measuring instruments, you can say like that, and bringing to the good operating conditions, like just if it was a new instrument, how it would have worked. Not to such a condition we should bring. Okay, that is calibration. You have to measure and see if an error is there, and you have to calibrate and see. Calibration means actually you are only seeing whether how the if any error is there, error is coming into this, and if anything is there, then you have to correct it and recalibrate it and see. You see, if you are having a UTM machine, okay, universal testing machine, if you are having, and you are using for many years, but if you don't calibrate in the middle, see the stress value that it is giving for our yield point, or for our ultimate point, or for breaking point, how will we know that that is the right value it is giving? Okay, there may be errors creeping in over a period of time, so therefore you have to do calibration. So even though the products are produced according to the design specifications, that is the dimensions of the products lie within the specific limits, they will be rejected. Why? Because your instrument itself is wrong. You see, suppose you are having your steel rule or measuring tape or something. See, that measuring tape itself, what should be 15 centimeters, if that is showing only as 14.5 centimeters. If the instrument is faulty, then what shall we do? Even if you say, according to my scale, according to my rule, it is okay, but see, the user has some other rule, so there is no use of producing such kind of things. Therefore, calibration is necessary. See, the dimensions of the products lie within the specific limits when you made with your instrument. See, still they will be rejected because of wrong results of inspection, because because the dimensions are measured and gauged by faulty measuring instruments or gauges. Okay, so okay friends, today we will stop here and we will continue in the next lecture. Thank you very much.